A new Royal Enfield is on the market, and as usual, it screams from the rooftops, it's the hottest thing since sliced bread. But is it really?
Wait, what, this thing? This is a modern motorcycle. Yes, Royal Enfield is taking a bold step into the modern direction with the Guerrilla 450 with its liquid-cooled one-cylinder Sherpa engine having 452cc producing 40 horsepower and 40 Nm of torque. With that, it's not Royal Enfield's most powerful bike yet, however, it's the fastest in the quarter mile. The Guerrilla 450 also has the handling of a sporty naked bike, with a monoshock in the rear with 150mm of suspension travel and the proper wheel sizes of 120/70 R17s in the front and 160/60 R17s in the rear. One thing that can be really appreciated about the Guerrilla 450 is that it has a proper modern handling. Like, this is basically a real naked bike with modern naked bike handling. Of course, it's like relatively low power, but that's completely fine because, like, for the small country back roads, that's actually what you want and need. The Guerrilla 450 is really fun on the side of the tire. We now here have it 8 degrees, and even in 8 degrees on the Royal Enfield given tires it's really nice and fun, I gotta say. And I have to really much appreciate the bigger tire size that Royal Enfield is offering with this bike with the 160 rear tire and with the 17-inch front. That's just like, it has the proper sporty naked bike feel.
This feel of the Guerrilla 450 of course also works really nicely during warm weather, where the bike also performed nicely, and I think it's important to point out that on the tires that come from factory, the bike can perform in the cold and in the warm. For me, this is important to point out that this works here because Royal Enfield puts an emphasis on producing their tires locally in India, and this didn't work always super well in the past, looking for example at the tires of the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650.
The only thing where you can still recognize the typical Royal Enfield design language is on the round front headlight and on the suspension protectors here. And on the suspension, you see the bike is built to a budget with the upside right suspension, but it still handles really, really well. And you cannot argue with the price point of 5,200 to 5,750, depending on the country that you're buying it in and the colorway here in Western Europe.
Speaking of the looks of this machine, the bike visually really reminds me of the Ducati Scrambler icon, especially when looking at the rear end of the motorcycle, only basically for half the price. One thing that really impressed me are all the different colorways that the bike comes in. For example, the yellow and dark purple is my favorite.
The way the Guerrilla 450 is standing here, it looks really, really small, also with its seat height of 780mm, and I myself have a bit of a problem sitting on small motorbikes. I can physically not ride a Buell. It is impossible for me, and it's really, really bad on the Ducati Scrambler 800, which looks really similar to this one. So let's see how it is for me at 6'5" or 1.95 m to sit on the Guerrilla 450. And so far I have to say really comfortable, and also like when I now sit with my feet on the foot pegs, it's surprisingly comfortable for that you don't really scrape the foot pegs when riding the bike. Like I have a good nice knee angle and good nice room here with my thighs. There is no tank molds that dictate how tall you would have to be for the motorbike, so it's just nice and comfy.
Speaking of comfort, the seat of this motorcycle is incredibly comfortable and you can ride the bike for hours. Only comfort problem you will have is on long highway rides if you constantly go one speed for a long time, because then the left foot peg starts to vibrate, which is odd because the bike has the same engine and a very similar frame to the Himalayan 450, which does not suffer from this problem. I earlier said that the motorcycle is physically really, really small, and exactly that makes it shine when it comes to the daily commute.
On top car, I be on job and I put it on God, they ain't nobody stopping me. Do the thing and it gets done properly, known for my honesty, not so much for my modesty. What's my policy? No remorse or apology, I am the wickedest, hungry. Show me where the dinner is. First place podium finishes. Man wanna chat about sends, deliver it. Man wanna chat about work that they don't do. Not a joke if the man them approach you. Act like you know what it is when I roll through. Let me go back to the start. On job. No days off, now I won't stop. Non-stop, drop fire, but I don't drop. That's why every boy, man.
The Guerrilla 450 truly turns every 20-minute commute into a mini vacation. And that's not just because it has the basics done. It's not too flashy, it's not overpowered in the city or anything like it, but on top of the small size, you can filter through traffic so incredibly easily. That's because of the very slim profile of the motorcycle. Everything where your handlebars fit through, the bike fits through. It's a great choice for a daily rider, drive it to work, getting out of work, driving it to your hobbies. I preferred it over public transport because it's more fun and also because the fuel economy is really good on it. The Guerrilla 450 gets 3 liters to 3.5 liters depending if you ride in the city or on the twisty road. And this is also what makes this bike cooler than a scooter. You can actually take it to the twisties and have a good time with it.
On the outside, I don't seem like anything less. Will someone ever tag along for the ride? Will someone ever tag along for the ride? Calm as you are, we'll listen to your favorite tune in your car. Why try to change me now? Time-based, but no time for us. Low pitch, bad boys, you were scared to get me down.
So I'm now out here on my little tour with the Guerrilla 450, and this bike handles so lightweight and nimble, and it feels weightless. I hear you say it's still 185 kilos, and that's not exactly light. Yes, but it just feels so weightless with the weight being so down low, and I'm willing to prove it to you. And I'm pretty sure Royal Enfield would be pretty pissed at me for dropping their press bike. However, I'm confident that you can do this without dropping the bike because the bike just feels so lightweight and completely weightless.
After giving this motorcycle a lot of praise, we have to get to one minor negative, which is not that big in my opinion, but motorcycle journalists praise the bike for this reason, and that's the integrated navigation system. To make it short, it's just a mess. When you make a wrong turn, it takes minutes to tell you where you need to go then. Then the bike instantly loses the script of where you need to go when you enter the highway. The sign for merging onto the highway is unrecognizable. Inside the city, it doesn't know certain streets, which makes navigation even tougher. Those are problems that Google Maps, which this system is based on, does not suffer from. However, the mixing of music when using headphones and audio direction works pretty well, and it's not that much of a cutoff like on Google Maps. Also, it's pretty easy to connect your phone for the first time, and also every time you switch on the bike, the phone connects easily. The menu of the DFT Dash has a nice design. However, Royal Enfield makes the most beautiful analog gauges in the motorcycle industry, in my opinion. But this bike has a DFT Dash. And this happened by popular demand because YouTube videos, comment sections and forums keep comparing motorcycles on the sizes of their DFT Dashes. Bigger number means better. That's what the market demands. So here we go.
With my time with the Guerrilla 450 coming now to an end, I have to say it's really a fun and practicality first motorbike. With 85% of the torque already being there at 3000 RPM, it's really nice to go from stoplight to stoplight, while it also gives the bike a nice riding character. And if you don't want your commute to currently be your little 20-minute vacation, you also can put the bike into eco mode. And with eco mode, you get a bit more range. I now managed to get 280 kilometers out of the normal mode and 320 out of the eco mode, which is quite a lot for the 11-liter tank. And at the same time, the bike just has such a nice riding character. You can really easily park the bike. It fits through a normal standard door frame, and you can easily blend the bike in next to like a few bicycles when you park it somewhere in front of your apartment. And just the riding character of the low down torque and the nice responsive throttle. Other companies sell small cc bikes mainly to later upsell beginners into a more specific model, while this bike has the proper fit and finish of a proper motorcycle, because Royal Enfield doesn't sell a more powerful bike. And this whole segment of like fun bikes that are supposed to serve a purpose and give some thrills on the side has been completely abandoned by all other manufacturers, and that's why everyone is always so amazed by every new Royal Enfield that comes out, because Royal Enfield really nicely hits that niche with this motorcycle. And basically the message of this motorcycle is, yeah, go out, have fun with it, it's cheap, it's reliable, and you will have a good time. Definitely feel free to leave your opinion on the Guerrilla 450 in the comments. I quite like it, and see you guys in the next video.